Very good morning, all of you. This is the third class for health economics. In the last two classes, we have studied the various elements of health economics. Today, we studied about the scope of health economics. Today, we are going to discuss about the health indicators. After this session, you can able to answer these questions. What do you mean by health indicator? You can easily answer. This is called health indicator. Then why the health indicators are important? We are reasoning out why we need this. Then what are the features of health? Based on that only, we can able to analyze the health indicators and what are the uses of health indicators, how it is applied in economics, and what are the sources available for health indicators, mainly the secondary sources. I will list out what are the sources available to measure the health indicators, and how the health indicators are classified. What are the criteria for classification? In which way we can classify the health indicators, and whether we have to include this health indicators in health economics. So we have to reason out how the health economics things is important because of the health indicators, and some of the health indicators will be analyzed today. Only the birth rate and death rate. If the connectivity to birth rate and death rate is fertility rate. So after knowing what is birth rate and death rate, you will see what are the top 10 countries in birth rate and what are the top 10 countries in death rate, and we will see the current position of India relating with the birth rate, death rate, and death rate. With this, these are the portion that we are going to cover today, and definitely you can expect one section A and one section B from this portion. Before entering into the health indicators, first we should have some basic idea or introductory part for the health economics. The World Health Organization has defined the term health in this way. I'm reading that. A state of a complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely an absence of disease and infirmity. This is a definition given by World Health Organization. Based on this definition, we can iteratively extend.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Voice கேட்கலையம்மா? Good morning. Voice கேக்குதா? Hello.
கேக்குது sir.
Whether it's audible? Hello.
Clear கேக்குது sir.
Thank you very much. So some people have defined health economics in different way, and more specifically, this health economics gives insistence for socially and economically productive life. But one thing you should keep in mind: health cannot be measured an exact measurable of this is the value. This is numerical or real values cannot be. Approximately, we can say he is a hell and health, and he is having better health. Only that relative term only we can. Another important thing that we have to consider is what are the consequences of ill health, especially the mortality rate or morbidity rate. And there are many factors which influence the health, that is economic, the occupation of the individual, some other domestic factors which may promote ill health. So these things we should know. Then only it is easy to identify what are the health indicators. But when we say about the indicators of health, we should concentrate on one particular value. It is a qualitative factor we are quantifying. So for that we need some index or some variable should be used, and it should be expressed in percentage or some proportion. In that way only it is possible to express. Health indicator is a variable susceptible to direct measurement, and it reflects the state of health of the person who are in community. Keep it in mind. it's not possible to say the exact value. We can say some proportion or percentage, and most of the indicators are qualitative. And out of four, the second factor of production, we are the laborer, that is the human beings. How the human beings are improved health-wise. It will be influenced with the physical, mental, and financial. All these factors will influence. So the health indicator is a right tool to analyze the health economics. In this particular way, I want to mention one particular thing. There are two different approaches. One is we are measuring how the health indicators influencing the health. So for that, we are including some elements like life expectancy, what is infant rate, what is mortality, what we mean by disability rate, what are the chronic disease prevailing in the community. These are all the indicators for expressing the health state. But one thing keep in mind, these elements are influenced by habitual action. For example, some people will not have proper diet. Some people may have the habit of smoking. The quality of water definitely will affect the human beings and animals. Definitely, this factor will affect the health indicator. Primarily, we have to see one thing, that income is a very big indicating factor to measure the health. Suppose he is having a good income and he can take care of his health. Suppose he is not with all this. So the government is insisting whether those people are able to access the health service. So this is the second part. The first part is some factors like life expectancy, infant rate, mortality, morbidity rate, disability rate, chronic disease, all these things are factors. But these factors are influenced by some other factor which is not in that actually in the health, diet, smoking, bad habits, all these things which will influence all these things. So what we are going to do, first we should list out how the health indicator should be measured, whether that data is valid or not. So for that, we are listing 6 factors. If that 6 factors is prevailing in measurement, definitely that indicator have impact on the health. Or we may say how to analyze this health factor. The 6 factors are the validity. That is, they should actually measure what they are supposed to measure. Suppose it is not how many of people are sitting in the room. It is not the right measure. Whether there is a validity, how many of them in that room, we have to give some particular third BA students. This much people are sitting here. We are maintaining the social distance, and this is valid data. Then the second one is the reliability. That means the result of that particular should measure some from different people, different range of people at the same time with a similar circumstances. Suppose if you measure, suppose we are measuring a diet. One person is after the supper, he is measuring. Another one is fasting. The third person in the afternoon section after dinner. Some people may before dinner mean it is not a right collection of data. That data will not project actual health indicator. So the third factor is it should be sensible. Sensible in the sense it will have some sensitivity. We may say there should be very sensitive changes in the situation concerned. Before fasting, the sugar level is 90. After breakfast, the PP should be 150. Suppose it is not changing. Already the fasting is 300 minutes. There is no need to measure the PP. Why? Because it's already there. A particular diet, whether it is having some changes is made in the health or metabolism, that we should keep in mind. We have to make a plan. Then the fourth factor is the collected data should be specific. Specific in the sense they should reflect the changes only in the situation concerned. On that day, what has happened, we have to say. If you take a report of last month, that will not be useful for this month. For that particular 24 hours or 48 hours, the medical report will be useful. So it should be very specific with the time, place, and the use. Then the fifth factor is the feasibility. Feasibility in the sense they should have an ability to obtain the data when it's needed. Suppose we have tested the particular thing and we are not able to give the report, what is the need of taking the report? That is, the test is not needed. So we can able to retrieve the data in a specific time without feasible. Accessibility should be there. The last one is the data should be relevant. They should contribute to understanding the phenomenon of the interest. Suppose a person is coming for sugar test and if you take a thyroid test, then it is not the right method of taking the thing. So, a characteristic of health indicator should have 6 elements. What is that? Validity, reliability, sensitivity, specific. It should have a feasibility and it should be relevant. So if these 6 are available, then that data can be considered for the health indicator. Failing which, we have to reject them. Once we say, before analyzing about the health indicators, first we should do why we need these indicators. What is the use of studying about the health indicators? Once you know what is the use or what will be the outcome, how to be relevant for the current situation, then it is easy to understand the concept. For that only, I have listed 6 or 7 points, the uses of indicators of health. First of all, it measures the health level of the community. We should know what is our health state. Otherwise, suppose if I am sick, I am having fever, then by that time I should take some medicine, telling which definitely I will still I'll become ill. So the equal interval, if you measure the health, definitely you will become ill and ill. So the second use is we are able to say what state of health that I have, the description of it. Then the third one, we can compare our health with the different stages of demographic factors we can consider. Then the fourth use is we should identify the health, what is the sickness that we have, what is the disease that we have, then we can be able to prioritize them who need the medical service immediately. Which can be postponed, which can be ignored. So, because of these health indicators only, we can be able to prioritize them. Then the fifth factor, we can able to evaluate what type of health service we can provide to the community. Suppose if we don't know how the health can be measured, we don't know what is the right health indicator, then it is not possible to frame the policy. So for that we need some health indicators. The fifth one is in economic way. We can be able to plan and allocate the health resources, number of doctors, number of paramedical persons, number of medical providers, all these things we can able to plan and allocate. For that we need the health indicators. The last one, we can able to measure the health successes. How many operations are successful? The indicator only we can say. What type of treatment that we should take based on the health indicators. So these are some of the uses I have listed, but it is no number of uses. But for section B, further, you can write these 6 or 7 points. That is before analyzing about the indicators, but we should understand that we can get the data about this health economics. That too, mainly for health indicators. The very first source is census. Actually, we have a separate legislation enacted in the year 1948 called Census Act 1948. But it will be conducted once in decade in the sense for every 10 years, they will conduct. And in that, the name of the person, the age of the person, the occupation, all basic demographic data will be there. As a matter of fact, it has been extended for over the years. The last census was conducted in 2011. But actually, when they are conducting the census, they make it as a 2 phases. First one, they will house listing operation will take place. After that, it will be aggregated. That is called population enumeration. So the first 3 years, they will collect only the housing listing operation. After that, the aggregation will take place. And the last 4 years will be the policy framework, all these things. But the last census for India is 2011. Not only the census, there are many other sources of data for health economics. The other main source is called the National Family Health Survey. We used to call it an NFHS. Till date, we have conducted three National Family Health Survey, one in 1992-93, and the second National Family Health Survey was conducted in 1999, and the third one is 2005 and 6. But the fourth is not conducted. Why? Because the census have abolished that National Family Health Survey. But still, in 2018, it has been retried. Probably to 2021, there will be a National Family Health Survey. Before census, it will be implemented. The one more source of data for health economics in order to get the relevance of health indicators is called district level household and facility survey. This has been conducted by every state government in district wise. The first district level household facility survey was conducted in 1999. The second was 2002-3. Actually, it has been extended to 2004 because of the district politicity was not clear. So they have taken not 1 year, more than 1 year, so it is 2 years. The third district level household survey was conducted in 2007 and 8. The fourth one is 2012 and 13. I have stopped with this actually because in 17-18 we have conducted, but the data is not yet received by the government because it is in interact. They are analyzing the data. Some technical fault is there in order to give the report. So with this, let me go to the classification of health indicators. This is more important question. You can expect a section B. Explain different types of health indicators. They are not. It is nothing but how you classify the indicators. Totally, I have listed 12. Actually, our syllabus covers only 6. But first, we will discuss all the indicators, and then based on our syllabus, we will continue. The first indicator of health is mortality indicators. Mortality is death rate. Something technically we can say fatality rate. That is how many deaths is taking place in every 1,000. It's called mortality. Then the second indicator is morbidity rate. That means how many of them are sick or ill out of 1,000. And the third one is disability rates. That means how many of them are wounded or how many of them are not able to survive all this. The fourth one is nutritional indicators. It talks about RNA. We used to call it recommended nutritional intake. That was the keyword for indicators. Based on the input, even the poverty line is included in this particular indicator. The fifth indicator is healthcare delivery indicators. The sixth one is utilization rate. Utilization rate means there is available resources of health service, but people are not able to avail that because of the distance, because of the economic status, because of the social status, because many other factors which influence the customer and the service provider not able to meet. That means the patient and doctor not able to meet. For that, some rate is there, so that indicate the failure of health system. The seventh indicator, we may say, indicator of social and mental health. There is a separate legislation for this, Indian Mental Health Association. And the eighth one is environmental indicators. How our environment is polluted, all four pollution is included. Air pollution, noise pollution, marine pollution and land pollution, all these things which affect the human. Then the ninth one is socio-economic indicators. The 10th one is health policy indicator. Here only we are including all insurance and assurance policies. The 11th one is indicators of quality of life. Human health index, we used to call it. Yeah, in that only that particular concept is included in this indicator. And the rest of the indicators we have termed as other indicators. There are many other indicators, but we use it as other indicators. For your sake, I'll repeat again. The first one is mortality indicators. Number 2, Morbidity indicators. Third one, disability rates. Fourth one, nutritional indicators. Fifth one, health care delivery indicators. And sixth one, utilization rates. Seventh one, indicator of social and mental health. Eighth one, environmental indicators. Ninth one, socio-economic indicators. 10th one, health policy indicators. 11th one, indicators of quality of life, and many other indicators are available. But one thing we should keep in mind that there are many indicators, but our syllabus include only these seven. What are they? Birth rate, death rate, and fertility rate. These things coming under in relation with the mortality rate. Then morbidity rate, disability rate, and finally lifestyle status. These are the seven indicators that we have included. The first three is the integral part of the fourth one. That is birth rate, death rate, fertility rate is an integral part of the mortality rate. And morbidity rate, disability rate, that is the sickness, health, or handicap, all these things coming under this. The final one is lifestyle status. That means the socio-economic, political status related with the health. So only these indicators has been included in our syllabus. So let me start with the birth rate. People think that birth rate means how many people are born. That is not the thing. Birth rate is, it is a number of baby born in every year per 1,000. 1000 பேருக்கு எவ்வளவு குழந்தைகள் பிறக்கிறா ஒரு வருஷத்துல, அதுக்கு பேர் பர்த் ரேட். இப்போ இந்தியாவோட பர்த் ரேட்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா we are having 2.6. 2.6னா 1000 பேருக்கு 2.6 பேர் பிறக்கிறாங்க. அப்போ டோட்டல் பர்த் எப்படி கால்குலேட் பண்ணணும்னா 130 கோடி 130 கோடி டிவைட் பை 1000 போட்டோம்னா கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு நாளைக்கு 30 லட்சம் பேர் பிறக்கிறாங்க இந்தியாவில். இந்த 30 லட்சம்ங்கிறது பார்த்தோன்னா ஒரு பெரிய நம்பர் மாதிரி தெரியும். ஆனா இந்தியாவோட பாப்புலேஷன் பார்த்தா அது ரொம்ப கம்மி. ஏன்னா பாப்புலேஷன் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகிறதுக்கு இன்னொரு காரணம் டெத் ரேட். டெத் ரேட் அதே தான், நம்பர் ஆஃப் டெத் எவ்ரி இயர் பர் 1000. இது எவ்வளவு இருக்குன்னா 2.5 இருக்கு. அது 2.6, இது 2.5. ஸோ 0.01% தான் பாப்புலேஷன் இன்க்ரீஸ் நம்ம கிட்டே இருக்கு. இதுதான் பர்த் ரேட், டெத் ரேட். I will repeat again. Birth rate is a term used to define the number of babies born every year per 1,000 people in a population. On the other hand, death rate means death rate is a term used to define the number of death every year per 1,000 people in a population. One thing we should keep in mind, this birth rate and death rate, the link is called fertility rate. Only the fertility rate decides number of births. For your information, I am just saying the average global birth rate was 18.5 birth per 1,000. What is the India's rate? 2.6. What is the world average? It is 18.5. Suppose if you take in 80s and 90s, India was a leading country in population. But now India is almost the 87th or 88th country in increasing the population. Similarly, the average global death rate is 7.8 only. Here the RNI is called recommended nutritional intake is 1.6%. So this is for your information. And just I'm listing out the top 10 countries are giving more birth. It is based on the fertility rate. Fertility rate means every woman has a capacity to deliver a baby. What is that rate? Niger was a country, #1 country, giving nearly 6.79% of birth. Every female is giving 7 child. And the next one is Uganda. It is 6.3. Then Ethiopia, Mali, Somalia, Faso, Zambia, Angola. So these are the rate. These are the top 10 countries which gives more birth rate in the world. But that population is very minimum, and they are purposely increasing the population in order to get the Power in the sense because there is a poverty and there is the more the number, more will be the strength they feel. And in case of death, these are the list top 10 countries. This particular thing, these are all third world countries. They don't have a proper health system. That is why the death rate is very high. Ljubljana, Lesko, Bulgaria, Ukraine, Serbia. Of course, so unfortunate that Russia was also in a top 10. Why? Because the communism. So these are the top 10 countries leading in the death rate. The main reason of these top 10 countries is they don't have a proper health system. If more doctors is there, definitely this rate will be less. Now let's move to Indian scenario. Now I want to say what is a birth rate and death rate and growth rate in India. This particular table shows from last century, that is 1901 to 1910, that person, nearly 49% of birth rate. Every 1,000, that is 49 birth have taken place in 1901 to 1910. And it is gradually decreasing 48, 46, 45, 39. And now, as on this day, that table shows only 91, 2001, it is 25 is a birth rate. But now, in 2010, 11 and 2020, 21, the rate is 2.6 only for every 1,000. So very unfortunate, this pandemic situation have increased the birth rate. It is not, it is only estimation. Because of this 6 months of pandemic, there are more number of pregnancy and the death rate is also little bit increased compared to birth rate. It is not considerable. In case of death rate, in 1901 to 1910, it was 42, and initially it is increasing 47 and gradually decreased from the Second World War, 36, 31, like that. As on this date, it is only 2.4. 1991-2000 census says the death rate is 8, but now it is considerably reduced. If you compare the birth rate and death rate, this is the growth rate given by the central government data only. It is starting from 6.6, now it is 17.1. Why? Because our population is more than 130 crore. That is why. So with this, I am winding the class. In the next class, I am going to take mortality rate. That mortality is as a confirmed section C question. So coming Monday, don't miss the class because I'm going to give what type of section A or section B is coming and how to answer the section C, especially the health indicator for mortality rate. With this, I am completing the class. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. I will share this particular PPT in your group. Okay? If you have any doubt, you can ask me. No doubt. How many of you are attending? Let me see. It's 21. Okay, 20. Now you can use the chat box and say present.